What's up guys, it's E30 Dave and this is my first ever YouTube video. As you can tell by my name, I'm a car guy. I love E30s and that's kind of been my car of choice these past couple years. I actually just sold my 1991 325i. It was automatic, it was coupe, it was blue, it had like tan interior. But I decided to kind of switch it up. I wanted a manual, so I decided to buy a 1988 manual 325 IS. Really excited to kind of dig into this car and see all the ins and outs about it. Right now it currently doesn't start, so that's one of the first things I'm going to be tackling. But in this video, I'm really just going to be giving like a basic introduction to the car, showing you around and some of the things that I like, and then this is going to be like the first episode to the project. So I'll be kind of, with everything that I do to the car, there's going to be a video on it. So first off, let's just like kind of show you guys around the car. And for $1,500, which is what I paid for the car, I think it's definitely a steal. Just walking around, like obviously, there's some rust. It's an 88. There's gonna be some rust, but in terms of like the car itself, it's pretty solid. It has the original 325 IS wing on it, and then the only issue that it's been really getting me, just from like a visual aspect, is the taillights are kind of messed up. So I'm obviously going to go through and fix all this stuff. Most of the things I'm changing out anyways. But yeah, like let's dive into the interior first and I'll show you guys what I really love about this car. Another thing is the hood actually doesn't open, so you have to like open it with a screwdriver, which is actually pretty interesting. But yeah, this is the interior. So I have a couple things in here right now, but as you can see, I have the original M-Tech 1 steering wheel. If you know about E30s, these run you like $300, which is absolutely crazy that I don't have to buy that. I think it actually might be the size of 370, which they're a lot more expensive than like the 385s, which is kind of cool. Move some of this stuff out the way. And then I have the black sport seats. So they might not look the best on camera, but when I tell you, like, these are pretty solid in like solid condition for their age. Absolutely comfortable when I'm comparing them to like the comfort seats that the 325i has. Amazing. I love them already. And then it's a 5-speed manual, which I don't even know how to drive manual, but I'm just super excited to drive this car, more specifically because it's a manual. So we'll really be able to see how it does. When I first bought the car, I bought it from a junkyard, honestly. When I first bought it, they were telling me it has a whole bunch of transmission issues. But after like reviewing the car and looking at it, I don't think it has any. They said it wasn't shifting to second and fourth. But after kind of looking at it, the transmission is working perfectly. The only issue is that it doesn't start, which is, it's a big issue, but definitely fine for $1,500. With the M-Tech 1 wheel and the sports seats, you're pretty much already getting the money out of it that you paid for it. Another really cool thing that I love is going down, you have the Style 5 rims with the original caps. If you take these off, I'll see if I can get them off. Might not be able to. Don't know if you guys can see inside of here. But these are actually original from BBS, so that's like absolutely cool just to have these, because these are going for like $1,100. Like I said, the E30 market is absolutely insane, so just having them on all four with the caps is crazy. One thing that's been like terrible about the car, though, it's honestly kind of rusty, but I'm planning to fix that. This thing literally comes off. That's an issue. That comes off. But, down here you can literally see through. I don't know if you can see it now, but you can see through the body, through the battery box. It's just because the battery was like leaking acid. But like I said, I really do like the car so far. So I'm going to start it up, get into the interior, and just show you some of the things that are working that are actually OEM inside the car. It's kind of close up, so I'm sorry about that in advance. But let's just show you guys like exactly what is working that's OEM in the car. So just turning this on. The gauge lights are working for the most part, and then the lights work as well. I didn't have that in my other car, and the one thing I've been super stoked about is the gauge cluster lights. I did not have gauge cluster lights in my 91, so when I was driving at night, I literally could not see how fast I was going. So that to me is like absolutely insane. And then on top of that, I already turned these on, but your defrost works, your hazard lights work. So that's dope. turn these things off. And then another thing, you can't really tell, but the map lights work in this car, which is absolutely insane to me. So obviously back in, you know, the 70s, or sorry, not the 70s, but the 80s, 90s, they didn't have Google Maps. So they had to use maps, physical maps for, you know, transportation. So obviously when they needed to, you know, figure out where they're going, they put their map here, and this kind of helped direct them on where they were going when it was nighttime. This was switched out with the aftermarket radio, which, in all honesty, looking at them online, they kind of look jank, but it looks fine in person. I didn't have an aftermarket one in mine. I didn't even have a radio in mine. So that was very nice addition to the whole car. But like I said, just sitting in here, like, it just feels so nice. Like, the seats are amazing. The wheel just feels a lot sportier than mine did as a 91, like the 325 IS. I really like the car so far. I like I said, just the small details on this car with like all the OEM features. Let me get back a little bit. But yeah, being able to turn this knob and this, you know, that changing, I didn't have that. So seeing that is absolutely insane. There's just so many OEM features in here that are freaking cool. Like here, I don't know if you can tell, I don't even know if this works, to be honest. A lot of the things that, well, like I said, I can't turn it on, so a lot of the electronics work when you turn them on. I do know for a fact that the windows do adjust. Or not the windows, the mirrors adjust. The windows also roll down. At least the driver's side does. The passenger side does not roll down. My sunroof works as well. Show you guys that. There you go. Goes the other way as well. You know, great time for summer as well. It's gonna be crazy. But like I said, like the dash is barely cracked. You know, you have literally one crack right here. That is like, looking at the dash, that's the only freaking crack on this thing. And mine was filled with them. Oh, another thing. Probably shouldn't do this just because, like, I don't think the air filter has been cleaned out. But working, and this is cold air. This is cold air. So this car has AC, which is absolutely insane for the age. But so far, I'm loving the car. I've literally, like, I love the car. But like I told you guys, they told me that it had a transmission problem. So I actually don't think it does. So I'll put the clutch in. Now, mind you, I'm still learning manual. So if my shifts are like ass, that's why. I don't really know manual that much. But I am learning. So obviously, reverse. Goes into reverse. Boom. It has neutral. First, second, third, fourth, and then fifth. So all the gears are working for the most part. I will probably have to replace the shift bushings because it's very sloppy. Like, put it in first and it's just kind of sloppy. Like, I can wiggle it around like it's in neutral or something, which is kind of a problem. But yeah, like, the car is so clean. The original features in here are crazy. Like, even, you know, the check feature works as well. Mine didn't work. So I just had a lot of issues with my car, and just seeing this one and seeing that a lot of these things work is kind of crazy. The only thing I'm kind of upset about is I don't even know if this is supposed to be like this. I've never had the M-Tech one wheel. But I assume that these horns were supposed to work, but they don't. Maybe they work when, you know, you turn the car on. But I guess we'll see. So I'm just really excited to, you know, kind of dive into this car. Like, it's just going to be a journey. I'm definitely going to have to put some money into it, but it's going to be great. All right, so I mentioned earlier that I can't open the hood. So I'm going to show you guys under the hood, but I'm going to show you how I open it. So first off, you're going to go straight to, you know, the hood. And then you're going to just go right next to it, right up here. And then on this side somewhere, I usually use a screwdriver and then a flashlight. I'm getting better at it. Just do this. You should turn something. Looks like I need to use my flashlight. But you're gonna turn this like screw, and that screw is gonna open up the hood for you. So I'll see where I'm going first. There we go. So as you can see, there's a screw like right here. And then you turn this, and then boom, it opens the hood for you. So recently, the car had some battery problems. The battery was dead. It was from a junkyard, so I didn't expect the battery to be too good anyway. So I just replaced the battery today. And then I also replaced the fuel pump relay and then some fuses. So looking underneath the hood, I had to go get something to hold this up because this is also broken. The latch from inside the car doesn't work. So I have to hold it up. That's why I have to open it with that screwdriver, and I have to hold it up as well. So yeah, looking inside, you know, here, I just replaced pretty much like most of these fuses down here. When I got the car, literally half of these fuses were gone. There's like no fuses, which is why some of the instruments weren't originally working. But the main thing is fuse 11, which is the fuse pump, or not the fuse pump, the fuel pump wasn't in there. So I originally thought that's why it wasn't starting. So I replaced that. That wasn't the issue. And then going into this compartment right here is this part. It used to look like this. This was originally the fuel pump relay. And it's still the fuel pump relay. It's just different. So I replaced that. That didn't help. So I'm trying to kind of narrow down what the frick is happening with my car. I don't want to cuss. But yeah, whatever. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the car. I'm assuming that it's not getting any fuel, because the temp gauge, when I go into like start the car, the temp gauge will turn on, but the fuel gauge won't. So I'm assuming that it's not getting any fuel. So I put fuel in the car. That didn't work. So I might have to replace the fuel pump in its entirety, or it could be a starter, or it could be another part. It could be literally anything. Which is why I'm having one of my friends who does like a lot of work on BMWs come over this weekend and to see if he can help me like figure out the problem. So I'm hoping that by this weekend I can kind of get the car started. If not, by like next week. I still have to get tags and everything on the car, but I want to get it started nonetheless, because I do want to learn how to drive it. Like I said, I don't know how to drive manual, so I'm gonna figure that out once I get there. It doesn't drive right now, so that's not really my main concern. But yeah, like honestly, like hold up, look at the sky, guys. Like absolutely insane. This car looks amazing. Just like walking around for $1,500, guys. Like I sold my car for $3,000. It didn't have like half this stuff, but the E30 market is so crazy right now that you can sell your car for like a crazy amount. Like I haven't seen, in all honesty, I haven't seen a good E30 for under like $4 grand. All the E30s I've seen on like Facebook Marketplace or like Craigslist have been like absolute dog shit for like $6 grand. So when I sold mine for $3, I was kind of sad I let it go for that little. But the guy is planning on, you know, doing some work to it to give it to his father. So that kind of eased the pain a little bit. But yeah, just look at the car. So absolutely amazing when it's under nice lights like this. But yeah, I love the car so far. And during my next, you know, film or whatever episode, I'm probably gonna figure out what is wrong. Hopefully by next episode I'll get it started. So that's the end of the video for tonight, but let's hope that next video you'll see this car running and you'll see me driving it. Peace out, guys.